ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Sunny Pancholi, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. And by bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions, by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry magnate on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Riju Chatterjee. He is a chartered accountant and a senior finance and banking operations leader with a diverse career spanning various sectors, including banking, financial services, and audit, with a wide range of expertise in strategy, governance, operations, transformation, audit, and people capability. He has supported clients across the globe and has global work experience across different cultures. He is a certified independent director and ESG, environment and social governance expert with an IICA, Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. He is an ex-managing director with Deutsche Bank at Singapore, where he worked for 8 years, and his recent role was Director Cash Operations at Standard Chartered GBS India. Currently, he is exploring board roles as an independent director to work on corporate governance and ESG. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, Mr. Chatterjee.
Thanks, Sunny. Thanks for having me. Appreciate.
All right. So to begin with, could you let our viewers know about your career journey in brief with important highlights?
Sure. Thanks, Sunny. So, my career, has spanned across almost 3 decades, but, I'll keep it short. So I started as a chartered accountant doing audit with several audit firms and manufacturing companies. Thereafter, I worked as a factory accountant in some of the large manufacturing companies and banks. So I had the opportunity to work with several PSU banks, FMCG companies, and the auto sector. Thereafter, as the banking and financial services industry was growing in India in the early 90s, I had the opportunity to work with quite a few large global banks in setting up their offshore capability in India. So, but by that I mean building large teams, hiring people, doing governance roles, running operations teams, heading those sites. And these operations were across investment banking operations, transaction banking operations that covered almost all asset classes. So this gave me a good opportunity to understand products, clients, these markets, and people from different cultures and backgrounds. So in short, through my entire experience, I've had the opportunity to contribute to building large teams, large organizations in India, working on several transformation opportunities on efficiency, automation. I worked on digitization, client service, and of course, building leadership teams and the right culture in these organizations.
All right. Okay. So thank you for the excellent start to this interview, Mr. Chatterjee. And it's an honor to interact with someone who exudes such a strong corporate personality. So continuing our conversation, our viewers would like to know, as a transformational leader, what is the biggest transformation you have brought about?
Okay. So transformation is a wide term, right? I mean, to me, transformation means truly improving the way we do things. Improving the way we do things internally in an organization, in our business, as well as from an external market perspective, making sure we deliver the right products and services to our clients. So in terms of my experience, if I was to call out 2 of my key ones, I would say the first would be on strengthening risk So in the banking processes and operations, I worked on building the right controls across several global platforms and processes, building the right internal controls, which were committed to the auditors and the regulators, and that was done successfully. Apart from that, I worked extensively on digitization across the Asia-Pacific region in the banking sector, in reducing manual payments and paper, and helping clients connect online to the banks.
Okay. So moving ahead, could you please let our future leaders know, as you have been awarded with so many accolades, which of them do you cherish the most and why?
Well, first and foremost, I would like to say, Sunny, over the last 3 decades, getting the opportunity to be part of several large global banks and working with great leaders and mentors itself has been a huge learning experience. And I really feel very honored on that front. So I want to thank all my seniors and my colleagues on that. I would say the one to call out would be, again, I had the opportunity to be part of the leadership team of several large global banks when we built the offshore capability in India. I think this is important because this all happened when the industry was in a nascent stage during the 90s and 2000s. So there were several challenges, but it was a very rewarding experience because eventually we could see success for the business and for our people in these organizations.
Absolutely. All right. So let's move on to the next question, which is on ESG and corporate governance. So here it is. As someone certified as an independent director and ESG expert seeking boardroom experience, do you believe that the current ESG and corporate governance framework is supportive of India's rapid growing corporate fabric?
I think that's a great question, Sunny, and so relevant and pertinent in today's day and age. Reason being, as India is growing rapidly and we are poised for rapid growth going forward, it's absolutely essential that we strengthen corporate governance across our industry, and at the same time build the right ESG guidelines, to safeguard our nature for the future. So I would say strengthening corporate governance and building the ESG principles are the responsibility of everyone. So we all need to work together between the government and the business. I would also say that we've all seen several examples, which is unfortunate, of corporate governance failures and frauds, and that's where it's all the more important that we build the right governance, and there the independent directors play a key role. From an ESG perspective, I would say we are all seeing almost every other day the sudden change in weather patterns, largely coming up due to rise in temperature, carbon emission, etc., etc. And why is all this happening? It's happening because of the usage of plastics, burning fossil fuel, excess use of electricity, etc., etc. So I would say we all have a responsibility on this front towards building a sustainable future. So in short, while the framework can further evolve, we have enough and more policy and guidelines, and we need to make sure they're implemented as soon as possible. And in the boardroom, it's very important that corporate governance and ESG get the right priority. And we focus equally on environment and people as well. So profit is not the sole motto in business.
Rightly said, Mr. Chatterjee. So before we conclude our discussion on corporate governance and ESG, one more quick question on it. As an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you bring to the table?
So I would say two values. One would be collaboration and the other teamwork. And these are my personal values and is part of my working style. And I think these values are relevant everywhere. So especially in the context of corporate governance and ESG, as I shared earlier, it's very important that we work together between government and business. At the same time, we keep in mind that business has to make profits, and they are the key for economic growth. But at the same time, we must deliver on our environment and ESG priorities as well, especially the UN SDG goals.
All right. Okay, so let's move ahead. And my next is on technology, since it has become an integral part of our lives, and that is how we are connected right now. So, what are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen with changes in technology in your field? And what changes do you expect to see with the advent of IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, other technology like big data, Web 3.0, etc.?
Sure, thanks, Sunny. So yes, I mean, we are all aware, I mean, technology is rapidly changing the way we do business, changing the way we lead our lives, all of that. So we can't stay away from technology. I think talking about some of the key changes relevant to my banking industry, I would say payments. We all make payments, right? Domestic, cross-border. Now, payments, will soon become 24/7 and real time across the globe. So that's a significant change and is supported by the regulators. At the same time, like you mentioned, artificial intelligence, machine learning, chat GPT, big data, etc., are rapidly changing the way we do business. So, and every business is different, as we all know, whether it's in the manufacturing sector, services, or wherever. So I think the key is, and this is a very important board agenda as well, to have the right strategy on technology, which is relevant to the business, and to invest in technology so that we stay ahead in terms of the competitors and provide the best for our client.
That was really insightful of you, Mr. Chatterjee. Okay, so this brings us to the last question of the session, and a very important one. We are building a community of industry magnates. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So what are your thoughts about this initiative taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole team of World Development Corporation?
Absolutely, Sunny. So yeah, I mean, we all know learning is a continuous process and is required by everyone. There's no one who knows everything, and that makes it more interesting. So hence, knowledge sharing is so important in our lives. So I would say this whole concept of Directors Institute as part of WDC, which is led by Zishan, Heval, and the team, I think they're doing a great job in bringing together the industry stalwarts and the aspiring directors, so people can learn from each other, from their experiences. And this helps us build a pool of directors, to join the board of directors and further strengthen the corporate governance and the ESG space. So yeah, I would say we are all benefiting from this, and this helps the business, this helps the industry, because as India is growing fast and rapidly, corporate governance and ESG are the two most important priorities without doubt.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Mr. Chatterjee. So it was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire the future leaders. Thank you so much for joining us today. Wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute has unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds.
Thanks, Sunny, for having me. Truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day.